Tip Tuesday, everybody. I am so excited to be here. Today is Travel Tip Tuesday. We are in the fourth week of January. Can you believe it? And it is a little brisky outside. So I am just honored to be here and bring you travel tips, guys. I am in a different place, not in my preferred place, but honored to be here and share travel tips with you. Answer questions and just be here for you, however it is that you might need. And I have committed to come to you. Now I am alternating weeks. Just to come and bring you travel tips every other week. And then on the alternating week, I'm bringing you wellness tips for the transition of change that we have of wellness tourism, hospitality wellness, guiding you through a positive process for change. My question to you, if you see my Motivation Mondays, is what changes are you doing for you to be free this 2023? So before we get started, that we have the series this month of travel tips to explore your destination, part 3. And today we're going to talk about something that is very close to me, and that is from some experiences we had this week. I wanted to really just share some positive solutions for you on top 5 airport accessibility services for passengers with, I like to call it, unique differing abilities. Some people call it disabilities. Some people call it special needs. Whatever your special preferred word is, these are top 5 airport accessibility services. But before we get started, I just want to take a moment of stillness to enjoy this rain that we hear behind us. That while the weather is changing in North Texas, we really never know what it's like. Are we going to be in shorts or are we going to be bundled up, which I've done both in the month of January. But this right now, the stillness is for anyone that may be hurting, anyone that has been going through some tragedies, some traumas. Maybe it was the horrific incidences that took place from the tragedies in Uvalde, or the horrific wars in the Ukraine. Just asking God to put a hedge of protection over us, over our world, our country, our home, and most important, ourselves. Thank you for a moment, just a few moments of stillness. Thank you so much for that. This is just a great exercise for you to take anytime you just feel, and we should do it even if you're not feeling pressure or stress or anything, just to take a few moments of stillness, because it helps you just to reset yourself. And I always want to take a moment of bringing the awarenesses that we celebrate each month. And this month, we are celebrating the International Mind Body Stress Day. But it's not just the day, as you've heard me mention. It is the week, month, year, all the time, to just take a moment of that. National Birth Defects Prevention. Walk Your Dog Month. I know my dog is just ready to do that once a day, and now I feel guilty if I actually don't take her out, rain or shine. So, cervical health awareness, Winter Safety Month. Be safe out there. Love Your Liver. Poverty Awareness Month. Healthy Weight Week. Weedless Wednesday. Are you taking out the weeds in your life? Are you taking out the weeds in your garden? Wherever the weeds, you feel like you are in the weeds. Weedless Wednesdays are something this month to be cognizant about. National Blood Donor Month. National Slavery and Human Trafficking Month. So today, as I mentioned, we have the series this month of the travel tips to explore your destination, part 3. And today we are talking about the top 5 airport accessibility services for passengers with unique differing abilities, disabilities. limitations, wherever that special word is that speaks to you. My name is Michelle Maynard MacArthur, and I am your hospitality health and wellness strategist that is here to help guide you through that positive process for change. And that is with a lean, holistic healing approach from the inside out. That lean stands for the pillars of your lifestyle, your exercise, your attitude, and your nutrition. And the fun part is on Travel Tip Tuesday, it is taking and showing you to top luxury wellness destinations around the world, or giving you different tips of how to go and make those top luxury wellness destinations more relaxing, more stress-free. But first and foremost, I want to share with you my purpose, passion, and why. And that is that I am an overcomer, a survivor into a thriver of a progressive degenerative neuromuscular disorder, along with depression, for over 30 years now. But I'm here today. Hands are a little cold. I need to get some gloves. I'm here with my voice. As long as I have this voice, if it's not this voice, you will get a different voice to share travel tips, to share my story, my journey of what I do and how I go about to do my part in making a difference and making the world a better place. The tips are being brought to you by MacArthur Accommodations, where we are a hospitality, health and wellness coaching and consulting advisement company that does specialize in overall optimal health and wellness worldwide, with those innovations to reflect, recharge, and renew yourself one step at a time. I am a master certified health and wellness coach with the Dr. Sears Wellness Institute that complements a certification I have in traditional Chinese medicine, along with a 30-plus year career in hospitality, tourism, site selections, group planning, retreats. Wherever it is that you're looking to go around the world, we have you covered to help you with that, to make it a stress-free, seamless process. So my question to you is, when you're looking at the travel tips, where are you looking to go? And how are you looking to plan those? Well, again, we are here with your strategies to help you with that. But the number one that I have for the top 5 airport accessibility services for passengers with unique differing abilities is TSA Cares. You've heard me mention this so many times, but I came across some opportunities and options of people forgot about it. So I want to just bring that to you again. TSA Cares is a helpline that provides travelers with unique differing abilities, medical conditions, and other special circumstances additional assistance during the security screening process. If your flight is within 72 hours before that, hopefully you're planning a little bit past that, but if you are within that 72 hours, you want to call TSA or TSA Cares, and that number is 855-787-2227 to request assistance. The TSA Cares assistance is only available to help you through the screening process of the checkpoints. But let me tell you, in so many different airports that I've got to have the joy of experiencing, they go those extra miles. And if you are the day of, what are we doing? We're going to talk about that in just a moment. The in-flight assistance or wheelchair assistance from the curb to the flight, you're going to contact your airline. If you're having some challenges with getting in touch with your airline, here's some other players. Number 2 is the U.S. Department of Transportation has an assistance location. Is when a passenger with a unique differing ability requests assistance from an airline to move through the airport, the airline is required to promptly provide the requested assistance. The assistance may be a guide assistance for an individual who is blind, wheelchair assistance for an individual with mobility impairment, whatever that special need is, they're there. And one of the things I do want to just point out right now is that there are some things that are being taken care of from some amazing people over at Muscular Dystrophy. What if you are in that motor scooter that you want to make sure that your equipment, thousands and thousands of dollars, is protected. And I'm going to come to you a little bit more on that as we see what's revealed with that as we progress into a better world. But this right here is whatever mobility impairment you might have. That's where the department, the DOT, Department of Transportation, comes in. To receive such assistance, the passenger or whoever's helping the passenger or making the travel arrangements must clearly identify to the airline staff at the airport as the person with a unique differing ability is needing this assistance. So what have I done? You go to the counter, you call, you let them know beforehand, because when you get to the airport, it's a little chaotic. You want to make sure all of that is taken care of for your stress free so that you can take time to really enjoy the traveling. Number 3 is Air Carrier Access Act. What is this? Airlines are actually, as I mentioned, required to provide assistance with boarding, deplaning, making connections, and within the cabin. Passengers with a unique differing ability may pre-board. You don't need to feel guilty about that. This is something that's available to you to make this seamless, to make sure that you have the same enjoyment as someone else that might not have those limitations that you do. Assisted devices do not count against any limit on baggage pieces and have a priority for in-cabin storage space. So let's say you have the walker. Let's say you have like one of the scooters that I'm not that familiar with yet, but whatever you might have, that takes priority over whatever might be. And that can be from first class to the cabins, wherever it is. The wheelchairs and other assisted devices have the priority over other items for storage in the baggage compartments. That talks about battery operated wheelchairs. They must be accepted. Let's say portable oxygen concentrators must be permitted if it is labeled as an FAA approved. So make sure that when you are getting that, if you are one that needs to have that oxygen, you have that FAA approved. Other provisions concerning the services and the accommodations address mobility aids, passenger information, accommodations for persons with vision, hearing impairments, security screening, communicable diseases, medical certificates, and service animals. I may not have listed something. The list can go on and on because it is something that's visual or it's something that you can't see. And I believe in one of my trainings, it's about 70%, 70 to 80%, I could be wrong on that, that of unique differing abilities you don't see with the common eye. Number 4 is airport passenger assistance. So we're going to talk about DFW because that's where our hub is right now, one of the hubs, Love Field and DFW. DFW is that international airport. They offer a customer experience. Service team members are all throughout the airport in the DFW orange shirts and black pants. They're stationed throughout the terminals, ready to provide the best customer service 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. So it mentions, I have been in situations that it's 3 o'clock in the morning or whatever time that you may be coming in, that I know that they are doing a lot to improve these areas. And that's where they have different services available for you if you're not getting that. But they have an ambassador's meet and greet with Always services. It includes ticketed passenger escorts from the curb to the gate to the curb. Now, these are additional services that you would pay for, as well as the ones that don't cost. But the accessible parking that's available in the signed areas of all parking lots and garages. Wheelchair services offered through your air carrier upon request, and it is strongly recommended that you reserve this in advance in multiple places. You're making your arrangements for your ticket. You need assistance. When you call each time, make sure, because one agent may plug it in and then they log out, go to the next call. And for whatever reason, how technology works, your request for wheelchair services may have gotten bumped out. So each time you're calling, you want to make sure that you have that. They also have with that wheelchair accessible van services from the parking to the terminal, and there's no charge. But also, I want to make sure that you know is they offer an ADA grievance process if it's needed. So, what does that mean? That means if something doesn't go the way that it should, don't feel bad. You should go through this process because how can we make the world a better place if you don't do your part to share your story? This didn't happen. Not that you're trying to complain, not that you're trying to do something. You just want to make sure that the awareness and the education and you're advocating not just for yourself, but for all those other travelers that are coming behind you that may experience that so they don't have to. Make it a positive process for change as we start traveling more. So the fifth and final tip that I have for you is the airport passenger services. And I really want to emphasize on this because I found 3 of them. One of them and 2 of them I got to experience personally. From going to one to another to another. I felt like a ping pong ball because I was needing to do something within that 24 hours of having to have travel arrangements for my own mother, who has a lot world-class traveler, but she has special needs now. So call one, they transfer you to another. You get hung up on, you get the phone number, you have to be diligent about it. But hopefully this right here is one that's called Prospect Airport Services. They offer SkyCaps to the wheelchair assistants, to baggage service, personnel, first and last impression that customers receive when traveling. And I want to give a big shout out to AceCar and his team for going above and beyond to make that difference. I finally got to one point sharing my story, pleading the different cases of what happened, and it just took ownership, had the empowerment to say, I'm going to make this happen. Collaborating with another, which is called ABM Passenger Services, because they have contracts in all the airports. Between the majority is these 2, but they have the contracts where some do Alaska Airlines, some do American, some do other airlines. So it depends on which airline you're traveling, you're going to get these passenger services or airport services. ABM Passenger Services helps the airports build and sustain the travel loyalty, primarily focusing on the wheelchair services. But that's where they're also helping carry your carry-on, whatever it might be that you need. Another one is UK Civil Aviation Authority. Passengers with a disability or reduced mobility are legally entitled around the world to support commonly known as special assistance when the traveling by air is free of charge. It helps to ensure a less stressful journey for elderly, those with physical limitations, or have difficulty with social interaction, communication. And this could include something like autism or dementia. But I also want to say, if you are and you're one traveling and you have those limitations and you have that blue card that sometimes you get, if you've got the permanent one, it's on your car, but they will also give you one so when you're traveling in someone else's car, if you can't park far, but take that with you. It is like, hey, I don't like to show this a lot, but this right here, especially when you're in other countries and there's going to be a language barrier. So I hope that this has brought you great value. I am honored that you have come into my space, and I'm so grateful as I want to do my part in making the world a better place for Travel Tip Tuesday. So we go out and travel the world in those top luxury wellness destinations internationally. Going to wish you guys all for a beautiful, blessed, and prosperous day as you go and be amazing like you can be. Thank you so much for tuning in. Bye-bye.